that being said, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the world famous Do Work podcast. I'm your host, Scientifixxx, back with another great episode. Like I say, every week we're in a different location, always on point with the new guests and where they located, either their spot, their studio, their whatever. So this week we're at a special spot. We're in downtown. Actually, no, we're in Tower. My bad. Hey, I don't know where I'm at sometimes. Had a long night last night, guys. We're in Tower District, right on the corner of Van Ness or Fulton.
Wishawn and Olive.
Wishawn and Olive. Okay. And we're at a great location. If you guys haven't been in here, you guys get an opportunity to see some of the footage of what we got in the store, or what he has in the store. I don't work here, but whatever we got in the store. And you guys get a chance to see where it's at, talk to the man himself. So with that being said, let's give it a big round of applause. Put your hands together for a man who's been in the vintage scene for a minute. Been putting things together and putting clothes on rappers and rockers and all kinds of people. Putting things together just outside of the vintage world and bringing a lot of the old school vibe back to it, because I think a lot of people are in the vintage game but don't really got the old school spirit with it, you know what I mean? So put your hands together, make a lot of noise for my man in the building, Marty. Yeah, what's up, man?
What's good, man? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thank you for being here. Yeah, man, we had a long night last night. Normally we have our sponsors, Full Circle. They usually give us a little something. We missed the opportunity today, but we do have a little highlight for the throwback. We're talking about classic stuff, so, you know,
right.
In the vintage vibe, I figured that was the right setting for it, you know what I mean? It's always good to go with the champagne of them, you know what I mean? So cheers to that, you know what I mean? So yeah, let everybody know who you are, what it is you do. Give them a little intro of you. You know, I gave you a little jump off, but let them know what the game is.
Appreciate that, man. So my name's Martin off the doll. Most of you know me as Marty O. Also, I go by the OG, Pops, Theo, Unc, the GOAT.
Oh, shit,
you know,
the GOAT.
I've been called that. I don't claim to be that, but I've been called that.
Hey,
so
I wear the crown, bro. I wear it when I can. Yeah.
So, man, we are located right here, 1130 North Wishawn Avenue, Tower District, corner of Wishawn and Olive. Yep. Go in the back in the parking lot, see the red door, and you can't miss us.
Yeah, no, it's right there by Rage Records. We did Rage Records season 1. Shout out to Paul and them.
Yeah, good people.
But yeah, it's right here. Like, you can see it when you're coming around by Tower Theater. When Wishawn starts to curve right there, it's the building that parking lot is right there. So it connects. If you're in the parking lot, you're looking at Vinny's, you're looking at Raging. So
if you were in the parking lot last night, somebody left some empty Modelos out there.
Oh yeah, the 4-pack. We saw the 4-pack. They left the little 4-pack right there. Like, okay.
Couldn't even leave one for me.
Nah.
Come on, man. You got to take care of
the door at least a little bit. Come on, you know what I mean? Wrap it up. But yeah.
Right.
So that's good. So how long have you been in this location right here specifically?
So in this location, just a little bit over 9 years. Okay. So September was 9 years.
Yeah.
Been in business for 14 years.
Okay. Previously, where was the other location?
Just around the corner, right above the Babylon Club.
Oh, okay, yeah, right there on the side. Okay.
So we were there 5 years. We were also in a small salon right down the strip mall there.
Okay.
For about 6 months. And prior to that, we were selling out of our house.
Was that prior to them ripping out the walkway?
And that was kind of, when the Babylon flooded 9.5 years ago.
R.I.P. to Babylon, if you know, you know.
Yeah, that was a tragedy for us. Mm-hmm. We started getting mold and stuff in there, and the owners would take care of, the situation.
Yeah.
And so we found this spot, man, and we literally rolled the racks down the street.
From right there across the street.
From right there, man.
That's like really right there.
People are like, you didn't get a U-Haul? I'm like, U-Haul? What?
That'll be like $80-$90 for the day. I just walk them right over here, bro. It's like all of 150 feet.
That's how we get down, man.
No, that's tight though, because there is a large selection in here. When you guys come check it out, there's everything from shoes, collectibles, jackets, jerseys, clothes, t-shirts, jeans. You got mannequins dressed up in 1930s vibes. You got posters. I was actually going through the vinyl. You know me, I was going through the vinyl. Got some good ones in there. But there's a lot of things in the store that you'll be able to check out. And also, like, getting into the vintage game itself. Like, I've talked to James, I talked to Chad, I talked to a couple people who are in the game. Shout out to you guys. That really gave me a better insight of how well it's kind of been going on for the last 10 years. Its life back up. And when you got into it, was it kind of that way, or was it more of just like it was the collector vibe in you?
It was, just to back up to the beginning, this is, more than 14 years ago when we were selling out of our house. My wife used to manage a shoe store. She got hurt on the job. They terminated her.
You got hurt at Payless?
No. A little higher end shoe store.
Yeah, like Burlington type jump or something like that. Okay.
Maybe a little bit above that. But,
fancy.
So, being hurt, it's hard to find a job. Nobody wants to hire somebody that's got a previous injury and stuff.
Yeah,
and so we're trying to figure out what she's going to do. I was working in the stock market. I worked in the stock market for 30 years.
Okay.
And so we were okay money-wise, but my wife, she would have went nuts being at home. Bebe would have been, you know, climbing the walls. So we just decided we're going to create a job. And back then, you know, 15, 16 years ago is when like the Abercrombie Fitch and Hollister stuff, the True Religion stuff was coming. And I started looking at our friends' clothes, you know, the kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know, distressed and like this. I'm like thinking to myself, man, your clothes look sorry. You know? So then we went to the Abercrombie store in the mall and they were like that out of the factory. So we were tripping. And so the main reason why we started going that direction was we noticed like kids that weren't as well off. It was, let's be honest, man, you had to be pretty wealthy to shop at those kind of stores. The kids that weren't well off couldn't afford it, and you know, bullying gets involved. You know, you're not wearing the right fit. You know, you're made fun of, and
your jeans are dirty and distressed. They're not bought distressed. They're like you just old and they're just old. You know, we always cracked up. We always said like, it's interesting how rich people, how much money they'll spend to look poor. Yeah, exactly. You know, and we don't even do it on purpose. It just happens. I just want that intoxicated, not even caring. Right. Like, just got out of bed. I don't care what I'm wearing. Yeah, and then someone coming from the hood, it's like, yo, this is all I got.
And
really.
It's $100 T-shirt.
We got hand-me-downs, bro. You know the hand-me-downs.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Like, this is my brother's, and then it was my sister's. And it was mine.
So we started. We wanted to be able to help kids out that couldn't afford those kind of clothing. So I hit up one of my friends, a vintage wholesaler. Okay. And I said, this is what I'm looking for, man. Hollister, Abercrombie Fitch, American Eagle, that kind of stuff. And he says, well, how much you want? I said, well, I got $500, man. He goes, all right, let me get back to you. So a couple days later, he hits me up and he goes, I got your stuff, man. I was like, what? Wow. He goes, yeah. So I went to his warehouse. 3 big burlap sacks full. Wow. It was used, you know, those brands that we were looking for.
Definitely, but that's a good jump off.
Yeah, and it was 500 pounds, $1 a pound.
Wow.
And we went to the garage, you know, we dumped it out on the table and we sorted it all out and we washed it all. And we started hitting our friends up, man. Hey, we noticed your kids wear this stuff. We know how expensive it is. You know, we're basically like selling CDs out of the trunk.
Right, you know became the plug. You're like, yo, I got you on the low. LA Fashion District style. Like, it's the real thing. So then you know what I mean? Yeah, so we started with 1 rack at the house. Damn, that's tight.
And we eventually built 1 bedroom into a boutique with racks, and we had jeans folded and, you know.
Looking like a store.
And so the neighborhood kids started coming to the house, you know, like knocking at the door. Lupe, I got a quince I'm going to tonight. I need a fresh fit, you know. Okay. So we let them in the crib, and you know, they buy their outfit, man. And then from there, I took it to, we started doing monthly parties. Oh, okay. So with the jeans, the bling jeans and all that stuff. That was in. And I'd invite, you know, like a Mary Kay girl, somebody did makeup, somebody did jewelry, we did the clothing. Okay. And maybe a couple of others. Okay. And I said, okay, we'll invite 5 people. You other vendors bring 5 people. Yeah. And I get the men away from the women and go. We'd watch football and drink beers, and they'd be like, "What's my wife doing out there?" I said, "Don't even trip, man. Have another beer."
She's not spending money. I swear.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can't say she isn't, but I mean.
Yeah. So we did that for about 6 months, and that worked out really well. We then the next thing was we got an opportunity to join a salon that was right here above the Babylon. Oh yeah, they're still there right now, right? Yeah. Well, the salon we were at is not there, but the building's still there. And they were looking to sublease a little area for some extra income, and so we took over part of that, moved out of the house and into there, and about 4 or 5 months later, we couldn't put up with their bullshit anymore. So we just, in the middle of the night, we rolled our racks down the sidewalk to the shop. It was like 3 or 4 doors down. Yeah. And when they got there in the morning, they were like, "What the?" How was it becoming like a new business owner? Because I know during that time frame, it probably was different. You know, a lot of people were relying on the 9 to 5. Well, it was hard, man, to be honest with you, because we were right in the middle of a recession. Yeah. And you know, people didn't have money, but you know, you still got to have clothing. Yeah, exactly. So it kind of worked against us and for us at the same time. You know, a lot of our friends and family said, "Man, you guys are dumb opening a business during this, you know, kind of economy." We're like, thank you. You know. They're like, you just went from going into stocks and, you know, thing that you guys are just jumping off into your own thing. Yeah, so, but, you know, we had a passion for it, and we grew it from there. And a lot of the times when people come on here, and this is one of the reasons why we have the podcast, to let you guys know, like, that's the drive and passion behind having a small business, is that you believe in this dream, this baby, this idea. And sometimes, you know, it takes a lot longer. It takes 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years sometimes. Yeah. But the consistency of it is that
you already have your vision in mind. So even if it's not to be the biggest yet, through those steps, you might end up deciding that, or start seeing that this, because when you guys come inside, the building's pretty big.
Yeah.
And there's a lot in here, and I know you got a lot of stuff stored away that is not even on deck, that's outside.
Yeah, that's
And it becomes that, you know what I mean? And having that passion, going, taking that risk to go, I'm going to go into my own thing, believing in yourself, and having the backing of your wife is beautiful because, starting a new business with your partner, you got to understand, like, we're both in this.
It's really hard to be in business with your spouse because you're together you're together all day, and then you're together all night, and you don't really have you can't, like, everybody go to their own corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, really.
You have to be on the same page, and we butted heads a lot, man, at the beginning because I had an idea what I wanted to do. She had an idea what we wanted to do, and let's be honest, man, all your ideas aren't good. But you think they are.
Oh yeah, and you'll fight for it. Like,
you fight for it.
Do that.
So whoever fought less for their idea, we figured, okay, then it's probably not the best idea.
We'll probably put that one away.
But we learned how to designate duties and do different things so that we're not both trying to do the same thing.
And being in the household too, like having household bills and then business bills, overhead here and overhead here type thing.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's tough, and most businesses don't even last a year. Statistically.
They say if you can get to like the 3 to 5 year mark,
then you'll start making money.
Then you start making money, exactly.
So I kept my full-time job, and would come help her in the afternoons and weekends and stuff like that. So that was the cushion that we needed to finally me to retire and say, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay. When you guys got in, you said you had a buddy that was already like kind of doing it. Was it just the one plug, or did you kind of know about the vintage scene, or just the clothing scene in general?
I mean, I've been thrifting since the 70s.
Okay. Catching Levi's, catching dope jackets.
A lot of it was out of necessity, though. I mean, we grew up poor, we worked the fields.
So you collected everything you got.
Yeah. So, and I went to Roosevelt, and right across the street from Roosevelt was, the Velt. Right across the street was the Salvation Army. So it was really easy for me to go over there, and with 1979, 1980, 81, 1950s clothing was still there, and that was kind of like my style.
Okay.
Levi's, 50s shirt, padlock around my neck, big diamond earring.
Okay, yeah, it was out
Chuck
here.
Taylor's, that was my style. So you could find that stuff, but now people think you can walk into Salvation Army and there's a whole rack of 50s clothing.
Yeah, no.
That's 60, 70 years ago, man. That stuff's been consumed. So for us to be able to get it now is increasingly difficult.
Because there's only so many people that still hold on to it, or there's also so many outlets that still have it.
And things wear out, just like anything else.
True that. Also overseas too. Overseas starts buying stuff.
Yeah.
And they start, Japan.
Yeah,
Australia.
they love anything vintage American.
They had that one Levi commercial where it was like a barrel of jeans had fallen out of a plane or something like that, and they ended up in like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And somebody ended up with like a pair. I mean, I'm sure that they, when they take like that type of packaging over to like the Philippines or something, they love them. So it does take from the market a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure.
And coming in at the 50 style, we were talking about this the other day about how like everybody's dressed like us in high school. Like right now, the 90s vibe came back.
Yeah,
it's like the bell-bottom jeans, the big shoes, the oversized everything.
See, I don't know anything about that, man.
That was the 90s vibe. Like,
what I'm saying?
Making your pants flared.
Oh, the Jenko jeans.
Yeah, the Jenkos. And
vintage Jenko jeans are going for $1,500 now.
Exactly, you know what I mean? And I had like almost every color, like the piping different, you know what I mean? All that
wish
shit.
You had them now.
And at the time, I wish I did, because at the time it was like, we could cop them. Jenko wasn't even that big. It was, but it wasn't. So if you got like a shirt or something like that, you'd spend like $30-$40.
Yeah.
But the jeans were like $40. So you could get like 4 or 5 of them and shit. And they had the burgundy, they had the greens, all that shit, and it was like cross colors too.
Yeah.
Cross colors was like a big vibe. But now kids are wearing that again, like the same style, just a little bit more high water, a little bit more like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're afraid of the drag.
Yeah.
The shredded was us. Like we'd cut off the bottom and shred them and then let it drag. And like, you could tell if somebody was wearing them because it'd be wet all the way up.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Halfway to the calf and shit. Like the back of your jeans are wet, bro. Like it'd be bombing all day.
Yeah.
But that was dope because it does take that turnaround. Like there is like that 20-year gap back.
Yeah.
If you started in the 70s, it was the 50s.
And everything comes in cycles, man.
It does. Yeah.
Every so many years, you'll go back to a different generation.
Someone will make that thing a popular vibe again.
Yeah, some celebrity wears it or something like that, and the fashion just jumps off. Or
let Miley Cyrus wear one of these 1930s kind of hats, and then we'll
sell them all out.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Everybody's on it.
Yeah, if you're looking for 1930s hats, we got about 100 of them.
He does.
By the way,
I was actually trying some on. I was like, okay, the one that looks like hair. It's on the other side of her.
Yeah.
The little brown weaving one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's like, you know, getting into it, I'm barely starting to get my interest in it. But I always had stuff that my mom has stuff from the 70s and 80s, like jeans, t-shirts from like motorcycle runs, concerts, stuff like that. And she just holds on to them because, like you said, growing up poor, you kind of collect everything.
Yeah.
You don't want to let none of your shit go because it took you a long time to get the money to buy all that shit.
As long as it's clean and wearable, you're going to hang on to it.
She has boxes in her closet of stuff that she's like, well, I'll wear that when I get back to that size. I'm like, Mom, you're like 65. You're not no diss or nothing like that. Love you, Mom. Shout out to you. But, you know what I mean? It's like you're not going to wear what you wore when you were 20. If they do fit you, that's dope. But then she has such a large collection that I started getting into it. Like, yo, we got some leather jackets in here that are like from the 80s. We got some stuff. So once they started telling me about stuff, and James, like I said, James and Chez started turning me on about the idea of thrifting, I really was more interested in it because a lot of the times when we would go, my youngest daughter's mom loves going to thrift stores, and we would be in there for an hour and a half just going through every rack. I didn't get like the depth passion of it. I was like, I get it, yeah, it's classic. Oh, you get it for cheap, that's cool. But no, really, you find a piece that actually becomes a part of your fashion.
Right.
And that's what me and Che were talking about, was like really being Fresno, having a big fashion sense.
Right.
Understanding not only just trends, but what goes well together. Like if you, like we were saying, you had probably had a couple people come in here and be like, hey, I need a fit for a show.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, okay, this sweater with this jacket, and without knowing, you became a actual designer of fashion. Yeah. And become, over the years, when you got into it, was that just more of like the passion for the clothes, or was it like you knew what the swag was? Like you're like, I know it's gonna be hot. This one right here is a hitter.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I'd like to think that we have a good eye, both of us. Mm-hmm. When we first started out, we used to go thrifting together. We'd separate, go buy stuff, and then we'd meet at the back of the store, and we'd go through each other's stuff, and they're like, you know, she'd look at my stuff and she'd be like, "This is whack," you know. You know, I go, "What do you mean? This is dope, man. This is fresh right here. What are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, just because you like it doesn't mean everybody will." And I go, "Well, they should." Yeah, right. You're like, you know what I mean? She's all FUBU. Why you guys? How can I? You're like, yeah. No, that's real, because it does take that eye, and you guys, I think that a lot of the thrifters really are, you know, not only just fashionistas in a sense, but just have a fashion design eye. Yeah. And can understand what is going to look hot, what's going to be dope. And I've been remembering, like you said, like, because you're wearing like a classic fit anyway, like this would be something that, but this is probably something that, you know, over the years, trends recycle themselves. Yeah. So you could have been rocking that the whole time. I do. It became hot again, and then like, oh, you got the fresh fit. You know, like, this is my everyday. In the summer, I'm all shorts and guayabera, and my wife says, "That's your uniform for work." Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's comfortable, man. I like that. You know, pushing the trend. Yeah, you know, it's the dad vibe, and hey, you can't miss out. Every 10 years, it's going to be back in fashion if it goes out. Mm-hmm. So, but Levi's, there's some things that are classic, you know, that never go out of style. Levi's, leather jackets. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Chucks, Vans. Some of those furries. Old school jerseys. Yeah. And you know, we have to curate a collection that's not just geared towards one audience. You know, you can't just go after the 90s kids. And I know there's a lot of places, especially the pop-ups, that without just pretty much everybody has the same kind of thing. Yeah. We do everything from the 1920s through Y2K. Okay. So, do you guys do appraisals? Like if I would help somebody if they brought something in. I'd help them. The only reason I'm asking is because my girl has a dress that's in a frame that her grandmother. It was her grandmother's dress, but a friend of her grandmother put it in the frame for her and gifted it back to her. And it's from the 30s. So we wanted to see, you know, like the value of the work on it. It has like a lot of those, you know, like the girls that would dance little shimmeries and flapper, flapper dress.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But it has like, it's like a around the neck kind of vibe. It's one piece. It looks sheer underneath, but it has like a lot of those little dangly crystal type looking vibes. It's in a frame though. So the hard thing about that is being able to appraise something without actually seeing it, like on the frame. Yeah. And then I'm always leery of doing that because, man, these things are so fragile. Almost, you know, it's been in frame, almost 100 years old. You know. Yeah, it's been. That's what we're talking about. It's been in frame since like I think '89, and we had to redo the frame just recently. So it's like on a like a brown velvet backing, and it's kind of like not stapled, but like kind of fixated to the thing. Nothing to damage the dress, you know, nothing puncturing or anything like that. But bring something in. We've bought stuff, you know, and think, man, this is amazing. I can't believe how old this is, man. And
you have to hand wash things like that. You put in the water and it just like dissolves like salt. Like man, so it's really
wool light. I should have used wool light.
Yeah, right. So some of these things are just really delicate, and fabric wasn't meant to last forever.
No.
It deteriorates.
But ironically, it's weird that some of the pieces that people like you find, you're like, yo, this is in really good condition. Some of the wool from back then is a lot better and thicker. So that's dope that you cover all bases, that you would want to be like every genre, because there's going to be somebody who comes in older or younger, and they're in that vibe. That's what they do. Like that's their style.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, I've been looking all around for something for this specific kind of genre of or this era, and you're the only one that I know. And that's good that you guys look out for everybody in that manner.
That's what we come in. I always tell people, that come in here, if you want to look like everybody else, go to Forever 21. If you want your own style, BBOs, that's just the place, right?
Hey.
So, and the kids, the kids are becoming more fashion conscious, man. I mean, you see, mixing styles and doing things and that we think kind of bizarre at first, but then they pull it off.
No.
They're willing to experiment.
Yeah,
when you're young, you're willing to experiment. You get a little older, you're like, nah, this might look stupid. So you're not willing to take a chance as much as you are when you're a kid.
You look like that old person trying to be at 54.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm swagged out at 54.
You call him an old person? Look at that.
The club 54.
Oh, okay, yeah. Studio 54, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Trying to be like, I'm out here doing the thing. You know what I mean? But no, it really does, because it's like, it's hard to get, ideas of sense of fashion when you do get older, if you haven't already been on it. Yeah. And a lot of the kids do try out stuff, because when I was talking to one of the vendors out at Art Hop just last week, and I was like, what's crazy is I remember the 90s of like LA, New York, San Francisco, and like their fashion sense is like what Fresno kind of has now, that put a leather jacket over a rock tee, over a studded belt, or like tight jeans, but you got boots on that are like, you know what I mean? Or you switch it up the next day and you got like an oversized jacket and like a Jets shirt with the fucking collar cut off over the shoulder. You know what I mean? So you're right, they do come up with new styles and are experimental, because everybody's trying to be expressive in their fashion.
Yeah, everybody wants to be their own individual.
Yeah. No, that's good though, and we appreciate that, because it's good to have that sort of fashion sense put into people's minds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that being said though, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're gonna check you guys out in a second. Check out this little commercial we got going on for BBOs coming out here in this little segment break. You guys have a good one. We're gonna take a little get a little you know what I mean? So see you guys in a second. It's your man Science, back here with Marty O in the building. You know what it is. World famous. Yeah.
All right.
At Full Circle Brewing, we know that life isn't always easy. So we made it our mission to brew up craft beer with high quality ingredients, from hops to fruit, to chase away the bad vibes and ensure a good vibe-only experience. Life is all about the journey, so we aim to bring quality craft beer to any ride, any vibe, and any tribe, because good brew unites people. We believe beer pairs well with a concert, a gathering of friends, a day at the beach, while working on your dreams, or just catching a vibe on the couch. And you all seem to agree. Since 2016, we have grown an astonishing 5,000%, growing in demand from an 86-barrel brew house to 5,000 barrels in under a decade, making us the largest black-owned brewery in the nation. You can find us in almost every major chain and even major entertainment venues, bringing beertainment to all, from traditional styles to unconventional flavors for the rebels with adventurous palates. We believe in bringing award-winning quality craft beer to anyone and every taste, whatever your vibe may be. Cheers.
That's right. She didn't get there. It was her fault.
Right.
Yeah, with that being said, welcome back, everybody. We're back in the world famous Do Word podcast. I'm your host, Scientifixxx, back with my man Marty O. We're just having a little banter, chopping it up on the side. Having a good time talking about this vintage thing. This game is really deep. I'm starting to get a big appreciation for it and understanding of it, and seeing how much you guys put into it. So it's dope that you guys have been around for so long just in the game. And also, like we were talking about the fashion thing on the last segment, having that eye for something. And I know, everybody's wife has that, like, I got a style for the house. I'm going to decorate everything, my vibe. So that when you said she was running it first, you coming in, she was just like, oh my God, here we go. Because she knew you were going to kick your ideas around. Like, what you should do? You should move this over. She's like, quit touching my shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Leave it where it's at. But just coming into and going online and making the store and, having those other options. I mean, in the expansion of everybody having their own personal businesses, that's good that you came on board and figured out like the avenues and stuff. And I'm pretty sure within that community, you've gathered, colleagues,
right?
People that you work with. I mean, we've mentioned everybody on this stage right now. Just Chad, James.
Yeah.
There's way more, but these are just the ones we've talked to.
Right.
But you're associated with everybody in the scene.
Yeah.
And you kind of are like the OG in this whole thing because they come to you for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like whether it be pieces or whether it just be like advice or this using the store as a backdrop.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope because being involved, you're giving back to the community in a way that you just started doing something for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's amazing that you would have that. I on the show, I call it watering my peoples. It's like giving them their flowers.
Yeah, for sure.
Telling them thank you for what you did because a lot of the times there is that guidance and you went off your own strength. You didn't know there wasn't like a person going, okay, so next step is.
Right.
Then
there's no blueprint for what we do, And starting out 14 years ago, the vintage game, the resale game wasn't that big. You had a couple of thrift stores around town.
Yeah.
But there weren't people that were really going for vintage clothing in particular. They were just either looking for something reasonably priced. So we've had to adapt and evolve into different things, and trying to keep up with trends on what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't want to get caught with a bunch of skinny jeans when the boot cuts are in. The high rise mom jeans are no longer in effect. So,
you're like, what are we gonna do with all these waist high fucking jeans?
And I'm too old to hold on to that for another 20 years, and when it comes back in style. You know what I'm saying? So.
You let them go real quick.
Yeah,
we're not dead stocking these, right?
Yeah. It's fire sale at that time.
Yeah,
but there's always people that will continue to rock whatever style that they're into. And, there's still the guys that wear the skinny jeans, the skater kids, the goth kids. They're looking
rocker guys.
Yeah, so these things, even though maybe the majority of people are wearing a certain style, you always have people that are kind of counterculture and want to do something different. They don't want to be with the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you got to stay adaptable like that.
You always got to make sure you got cheetah print pants on deck.
Right.
You never know
who's
who's going to want to wear them.
There's always that one guy that wants it.
Yeah, you don't got no tight leather leopard print or nothing like that. Like, no, bro, I don't got. I mean, actually, I do. Let me go get it.
We keep everything on deck.
And of course, some leathers. You got some leather pants. Yeah,
always,
you got to keep leather pants. Man, I'm getting tongue-tied right now. I think these beers are kicking in and shit. So getting into the game itself and like getting to this location itself, what were like some of your goals initially getting the building when you started to realize like this is growing? Like, we should get a building. Were you planning on it growing bigger than that, or were you like, we could probably sit right here for a minute and be like kind of cool?
Well, we were kind of looking for a spot on Olive Avenue. We were looking. There was a shop right here where. Tower Blends. Shout out to Tower Blends. You got some good eats there and some nutritional stuff there.
Yeah.
We were looking at that spot. It was called Karen's Keepsakes, and we were looking at that spot, and the property owner kept saying, "No, we need a yogurt shop. We need an ice cream shop." And we're like, "Man, who are you to say that we should have this?" And it turned out to be a blessing because he hit us up a little bit later, and he says, "You know what? I got this other spot. I don't know if you're interested in it, but I'm going to show it to you." And he brought us over here, man. He opened up the door, flung the door open, and it was like, oh.
I'm home.
Yeah, and he was like, you guys think you can do something with this? And I didn't want to show my cards, And I'm like, we could probably mess with this,
I mean, this is cool.
It's all right,
I mean, we'll fix it up somehow,
I
guess.
But it fit our vibe more,
Totally, kind
of the industrial look to it.
The New York loft kind of brick wall kind of thing, yeah.
So we came in and... it was a dojo before we moved in for 15 years.
Oh, shit, Cobra Kai.
Yeah. And, the sensei used to live up here above my office.
Oh, really? He stayed here? He lived in the house?
He lived here. He had 2x4s pounded into the wall. He climbed up there and lived there, and he had a shower here with nothing but cold water. So, he was hardcore.
I mean, you sleep in your dojo, bro. You're about that life. Yeah.
It was wall-to-wall mats in here, so he had taken the mats out, but there was glue everywhere.
Oh, yeah, from being stuck to the floor,
so
did it have
we had to sand it all down.
Did it have a soft, foot smell in here?
It wasn't quite that fucked. It wasn't quite that fucked. We had to grind down all that glue and stuff.
No, it looks really good. I mean, we'll get some shots of you guys and then check it out. It looks really good that you guys recovered.
Well, our initial plan was we were going to paint the floor.
Oh, okay.
And then, every day that you're not in business, you're not selling, you're not making any money. It's
true that.
And so my wife would open up the side door over here and had my office with some racks of clothes and put a sign out there like, hey, we're open. So, made a few bucks, but we really need to get this thing open. And so we decided that let's just go with the raw cement, put some carpets down and And it just kept growing with more racks. And
Racks on racks on racks on racks.
that's right.
And they really do. They have a very full selection, all the way around the walls covered, and then in between walkways of different things. Like I said, the t-shirts, the sweaters, everything, the jeans. I mean, it's very, very well stocked. And I know you got, like I said, dead stock.
Oh, yeah.
And you got some shit just in storage off the rip. Just,
we could refill this shop probably 3 more times without running out of stuff.
Wow, that's beautiful. Coming from just a pure idea of like, hey, I see people rocking something, I might want to get some of that.
The problem is, it becomes an illness, man, because, you buy stuff and then you buy more stuff and that stuff gets pushed back a little further and a little further and a little further. And then, 3 years later, you go like, what's this stuff? Oh, yeah, I remember I bought that like 8 years ago.
That's right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, it's basically picking for myself.
Yeah.
People go out picking, they're sourcing goods. We could just pick from ourselves. And when we moved here, it's 3,500 square feet.
That's a beautiful thing. I could just pick from myself.
Yeah,
like, I didn't even know I had this.
Yeah. 3,500 square feet. I built a 1,000 square foot storage area because my wife, she wanted everything out of the house. She goes, I want to come home and not be at the shop still.
Yeah.
So I built a nice big storage area. We filled that thing up. Now the garage at home is filled again. The living room's filling up. She's not happy.
Back up. Yeah,
she's not happy, but I just told her, I said, hey, we ran out of room, man. So either quit buying stuff
or become really good friends with Daryl from Daryl's Mini Storage.
Right. Yeah. Me and Daryl go back like rocking chairs.
Like, I gotta be, hey, bro, I'm gonna need another facility. Again? Yeah. I'm gonna need that whole row right there. Yeah. That's good though, because it does take a lot for that growth to take on. Yeah. But then you are with the gift and the curse. Once you get that big, you realize, damn, I'm out here with everything. And there's always, and you said you're right, there's always new years of shit, like new athletic wear, new trends that did break, something that was out for a while that was hot, and you're like, oh, I gotta get a couple of those pieces. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, okay, waiting for them to kind of hit again. Or the fact that they are hitting and you're like, I gotta get more. Yeah. It's running out. Like, motherfuckers really want these Coogee sweaters. People really want the, whatever type of vibe. So they're really trying to see it. And you guys stay on stuff too. And going into it, probably, I'm sure when you walked into 2020, it was probably like a little bit more difficult because it went straight to the online sales, right? It did, and it did. I mean, that was a difficult time because the city right away sent us a letter that says, you're not an essential business, man. You got to close down. And they even told us, we can't be in here with the door locked working. How does that make sense? You couldn't be together. My wife and I couldn't be in here. You're like legit, like suspended from your work. Yeah. And my wife was freaking out. She said, I don't want no $10,000 fine. And I was like, I'm gonna do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And so, find me in my store, right? Yeah. And I remember there was one day my friend and I were in here. And I was doing some work, and he came by, so we were drinking some beers in here. And all of a sudden, I hear this kind of noise at the front door, like. So I went and looked out, and you could see out the front door, but you can't see in. Yeah. So I looked out, and it was a City of Fresno truck. And he's putting a letter through there, like, it can't be open letter. Yeah. And I went, ho, 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 ho. And he almost shit his pants, man. He boned out, man. He thought it was a dog. We was rolling up in there, man. Hey, shout out to you city workers doing your job, bro. I know you're just doing your job, but you know what I mean? You guys were actually asked to be assholes sometimes during that 2020. And during COVID, it was like, okay, Walmart can sell clothing. Yeah. And TVs and stuff. Yeah. And food. They sell pretty much everything, right? But we couldn't be open. And it's like, well, what if you don't want to buy fast fashion? What if you want vintage clothing? That's essential to you. And you still need clothes. But they're closing liquor stores down. Well, if you're an alcoholic, that's essential, right? They're closing the smoke shops. If you smoke cigarettes and you can't get them, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's a horrible day, bro. And there's people that refuse to buy fast fashion. They don't shop at Forever 21 or Walmart or Shein and all that kind of stuff. Nothing that's so for them, it wasn't available. So that was I thought it was bad. I mean, I was afraid of getting sick. We got our vaccines. We used to mask up wherever we went. And when we finally opened up, we required masks. I mean, it was a state mandate, and some people would get pissed off. And I was like, we didn't make the rules, man. The state said you have to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, the door's right there. We had masks here to provide for them. Oh, yeah, of course. But if you don't believe in it or whatever, kick rocks. You don't believe in it. You know what I mean? I don't think this is real. People are just dropping you dead, but it's not real. You're pretending. But later on we found out that all we had to do was sell bottles of water or masks, even the disposable, and we could have been considered essential and stayed open. Yeah. And had your little sanitation bottles of hand sanitizer. Yeah. I still got about 50 bottles in storage. Like, dude, To this day,
Yeah.
every time I smell tequila, I think sanitizer, like hand sanitizer, because there was a one that was out for a while that smelled straight up like tequila, like guava. It's fucking corrupt. It's never gonna go away. I gotta go deep into
it. Yeah, that lemon right there.
Pause with that.
Hook it up.
Pause with that.
It put a strain on things, but what we did was we started delivering. So, we were blessed that our followers, our clients, wanted to support us. And so we would just post stuff online, and people would say, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife would take off one way, I'd take off another way, and we'd show up in somebody's house.
Curbside drop
Yeah,
off.
put it on the porch, and then we'd go back to our car, and then we'd just send them a message, hey, we just dropped off your stuff, and they'd come out and wave to us. So we were blessed that way, man, but...
that's Amazon style.
Yeah.
Your package at the front door.
Before Amazon was, was blowing up.
Before they took over? Before they took over the game? Yeah.
But, we refused to go away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's really easy to just use that as an excuse and go like, woe is me. Everything's impossible now. I'm just gonna quit doing what I'm doing. Well, like I said, we grew up poor. We didn't know how to give up. If we had beans and rice on the table, we were good. Throw a piece of carne on there. They're golden. You know what I mean?
Everybody's grandma or somebody made tortillas, so there's gonna be tortillas.
So we were used to that. As long as we got something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't going to cry,
Not at all. I also grew up in the era where it's like, oh, we don't got no power. Hey, run the extension cord from next door.
Right.
That bitch is back on. Yeah.
But, I wasn't going to go back. I didn't want to go back to work either. So, you know what I mean? So it's either make this survive and get through this period or throw in the towel.
He said, look at me.
Yeah.
We're going to make this happen.
My wife, we just dug in. And, but it also goes back to when we first started. 14, 15 years ago, when we decided to get our shop, we didn't take a loan out. We sold our furniture. We sat on the floor and watched TV because we don't want to be in debt. We don't want to owe anybody anything.
Interest and all that other shit.
So that's what we did, man. We sat on the floor until
that's savage. Hey, let's make some noise for that. Shout out to that, bro. If you got a dream and you go and sell all your shit to make like your first move. And realize, like, I'm gonna get it back. It's just a couch. I'll get it back.
And it's it's also kind of motivation too, because after sitting on the floor for a little while, you're like, nah, hell no, we need to make some money. We can buy a better couch.
The first week is cool. Second week is like, all right, dude, I'm over this. My ass hurts. I'm not even trying to fucking sit on the floor anymore.
Then the third week you're just standing watching TV, drinking a beer.
You move the TV into the countertop in the kitchen.
And you tend to drink beer faster when you're just holding it rather than putting it on a table.
Right?
Because it's right there. It's like, oh, what's this?
Oh yeah, fucking yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But also you get to that new like, it feels like we just moved in. That's cool. And then a week later you're like, it feels like we just fucking moved in and we don't got shit. Yeah.
And then a month later it's like, oh shit, did we just move in? I don't even remember.
We're always at the shop now, so kind of big.
So over these last 15 years, we've never borrowed money. We've never not bought anything cash.
Yeah.
It's like we've always told each other like, if we can't afford it, if we don't have the money to buy it, then we're not buying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of businesses that will go, they'll buy something from a wholesaler, on 60-day payment.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then at the end of 60 days, you haven't sold it yet. You still got to pay the guy.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? So we figured, okay, if we can't afford it, then we're not buying it. People call us up, hey, they want to sell stuff. Well, we're not buying right now.
Yeah.
Either we don't need it or we just can't afford it right now.
Yeah, we don't have it. Yeah. Because you are coming personally out of pocket. So it's
and it's all
funded by Bebe O.
Yeah, it's a gamble,
No, it really is.
People come in, they got 100 pieces of clothing they want to sell. Mom and dad passed away, grandpa passed away. Everybody wants the jewels. Everybody wants the good furniture. Nobody wants the clothing.
No.
So they'll bring it in here, and you have to buy it all because they're not like letting you cherry pick. They're like, no, it has to be all gone.
I can't take it with me.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I have nowhere to do with this.
Yeah. So we'll buy 100 pieces, knowing that maybe 40 pieces will make it in the store. Probably 60 will get donated out immediately.
Yeah.
And then out of those 40, you have to make your money. And then probably out of those 40, maybe 25 sell. And the other 15 go on the clearance rack. So you have to be really in tune on what you're buying.
Yeah.
Know the value of things. And then also make people feel comfortable with the price that you're giving it, because a lot of people think, oh man, these clothing are old, they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's like they might be old, but they're not desirable.
And also, like you said, about the washing, it might fall apart in a couple of years. So you might buy something that you don't have next year.
Yeah, and everything in here is washed or dry cleaned.
Yeah.
So you don't. You don't come in here and want to try on a pair of pants or a shirt and be like,
mothballs.
What the hell is that? Is that me or is that the shirt I'm trying on?
Chinese food? I didn't even know.
Right? Well, we might get that from the Golden anyways, but
that's a jump off though. They fire. None of that. But yeah. No, but that's good because like a lot of people get into it, and when it started to get to 2020, a lot of the business owners that we talked to about, they either had we hella blew up during that time frame story, or man, we had a couple of tragedies, we had a couple of barricades, like. So it's good to see that you guys actually had like a flourishing aspect, and we're able to bring around that delivery aspect to people, door dashing them.
We invented DoorDash, man.
That's the first one.
Yeah, but after when the stores, things loosened up and the stores were able to open up again. I mean, we thrived during that, man, because these kids were getting paychecks, man. They were working a 10-hour-a-week job.
Yeah.
And they were getting their little unemployment check, but the government was throwing another $400 on top of that twice a month. Mm-hmm. And so they were coming in. You're living with your parents. Mm-hmm. You don't have any overheads. They were coming in. They were breaking us off.
You got a car payment and a phone payment. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And they were breaking us off. So we flourished once things opened up.
Yeah. See, I was doing well. I was working at the IRS at the time, so we were getting full government check, like paying our actual check, and then we were getting government assistance because it's disaster pay. So we were getting like $600 every 3 months, and then and then we didn't have to get the PPEs. We didn't have to get any of the loans.
You still working IRS, man? You hook a brother up.
No, I'm trying to go back.
Try to take care of them back taxes, man.
Right. I'm trying to go back because I was at the one at Butler and they closed.
Okay.
And so I haven't got a chance to get back in the system, kind of thing. But if I do, I got a pretty good pay grade achieved. I already got to it.
All right. So if I slipped you my social security number, you might.
I can't say nothing legally on camera, but I would very much help anybody who needs taxes or information about how to do their stuff. Definitely, yes.
Right on.
Yeah. But so when we got it, it was the same thing, So a couple companies were like, man, it was really hard. We almost like lost everything. And then a majority of them were like, nah, we actually figured it out like you did with the delivery system or some way to pick up the product still. And they were okay with it.
And we didn't get any stimulus checks.
No, I mean,
we got none.
But you were saying you weren't even taking any money in from anybody, loans or anything like that.
No,
so I wouldn't even.
And we didn't get. Everybody was like, you got to
as a small business.
You got to get stimulus. And my wife kept on saying, no, you're gonna have to pay that shit back. And everyone, it's free money. I was like, come on, man. I'm almost 60 years old. Ain't nothing in this world free.
He said, I see trading places. That shit ain't free, bro. They set you up. Man. Yeah, they set you up.
Yeah.
And then everything rised up. So it was like all that money we gave you. Okay, now here's how we're going to get it back. Yep. Gas went up. Food went up. Cost of living went up. Yep. So
nothing's free, man.
No. Everybody's like, damn, it's expensive here. I was like, well, now you know what it feels like to live in LA or San Francisco.
No doubt.
They've been living in closets for $1,800 for the last 15 years. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it worked out, though, for you guys because you guys have a great facility. You guys have a lot of customers and a good following. You have a great fan base that really supports what you guys do.
We've been blessed with that, man, and a lot of it has to do with just being honest, being ethical. As far as buying clothes, we always try to pay a fair price as much as we can because we want those people to come back. First of all, and also we want to sleep good at night. A lot of people are like, man, I know this jacket's worth $500, man. I'm offering the guy like $3, and and the guy doesn't know what it's worth. They're gonna take the $3, you know what I mean? And then they're like, I'm gonna make $497.
And they come back to the store and see it. Like, what the fuck?
We try to make it fair. Everybody eats.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But you get the referrals because so and so told me about you guys. Told me you're fair, and so we get more of that. So we don't do as much sourcing outside like we used to, and most of it comes to us now.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, being OG. Being the GOAT. That's what happens. People, you ain't got to make them phone calls no more. Now you're just answering phone calls.
Yeah.
Hey, can you do? I got this for you.
Yeah, it's getting to a point where it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's only so much that we can even get on the floor. And with Bebe out right now, it's even harder. I have Tiffany, our assistant. She's great.
Yeah. Shout out Tiff.
Yeah, Tiff. We couldn't do it without my fashion daughter. Love you. But she's here 4 hours a day. That means I'm here 3 hours a day by myself.
Yeah.
So it's either try not to burn down the place, or just trying to hold it down until until Bebe can come back.
Yeah. I mean, and you guys are doing a great job, bro. Because literally, a lot of people know about this place. They give a lot of respectful words about it, but they also talk about if you're gonna go vintage shopping or you got to get the spot. I know a spot that really has the good shit. You probably want to go check that out, and your guys' name comes up every single time.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely. And with that being said, we're gonna take another break. We'll be right back. You guys enjoy yourselves. We got to grab another beer. You know what I mean? I finished this one right here. The High Life is doing its job. I'm awake now. I was having a little struggle. We had a long night last night. Yeah, we had a long night last night, but today I feel a little bit now. Right now, I feel more like, all right, let's go. Awake, yeah. So you guys have a good one. We'll come right back. We'll take a break and see you guys in a second. It's your man Scientifixxx, the world famous Marty O in the building, Birdstash in the building. He off to the side. You know what it is.
Hey, it's me, Skullface Ernie. And I just wanted to remind you guys to
protect your vibes.
If anyone tries to with your vibes, tell them
no.
Drink Captain Save a Hop Hazy IPA today.
Oh,
not
man.
gonna crash.
That's a bad analogy there, man. Because I'm about ready to get off.
Okay, I'm not the captain of the SS Minnow, but just keeping all these bad ships, fucking references.
We're cruising and shit. End up on an island.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if we did, we'll have a good time.
No doubt.
I know how to make rum out of coconuts.
Shit, I want to be on your island.
I learned how to make rum out of coconuts. It was a good time during my beer stages when I was learning how to make alcohol, and like people were showing me how to do like some sort of moonshine, but then also wines, and I learned how to make coconut juice.
That kind of like the toilet bowl.
yeah, the pruno and the
grappa in the joint.
Yeah, a couple loaves of bread and some fruit.
Okay,
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the world famous Do Work podcast. I am your host, Scientifixxx, back with my man Marty O. We're having a blast out here, man. We're having a good time. Cheers to you for inviting us into the building. We've had a good one.
Thanks for having me.
The Miller High Life has been doing the job, bro.
Right.
I don't know why I forgot about this, and I don't really sip on this a lot. We also do a lot of micro brewing and like go to brewing houses. I gave him the eyes.
The eyes. The eyes.
And so we get tapped in a lot of ales, a lot of hazies, a lot of upper scale beers because that's where we're around. Shout out to Spoke Easy. Shout out to Full Circle. But it's always good to tap in.
Hey, you got to go back to your roots. You know what I'm saying? It is the champagne of beer, after all.
It really is, and we're in a classic spot. So it was only right that we did it this way. So
thanks for having me.
Also, shout out to Full Circle for always sponsoring us and giving us some love this year. Shout out to Art. Shout out to everybody on the staff. Protect your vibe. You know what it is. Gotta get the sponsorship out the way.
Yeah. Local people doing good stuff.
It really is, and we're proud to be a part of being able to highlight people like that. Because outside of Fresno, there is that consensus when people go, "You live in Fresno? What is there to do in Fresno?"
Exactly.
And you don't really realize that there's tons of little mom and pop spots, hole in the walls, but also major facilities that are popping up that Fresno people have built up.
Like they say, man, if you're bored, then you're boring, right?
Right? Yeah. My grandma used to say all the time, "I'm bored." Well, maybe because you're boring. I'm like, fuck.
Shout out to Green Day for that lyric.
Yeah, but my grandma would tell me that. I'm like, damn, grandma, shout out to you. But yeah.
But in 1989, Green Day played right here in this shop.
Oh, right here, really?
Right here. Man.
Oh, okay. Shout out to them.
My boy Paul Crookshank from Raging Records, man. There's the original flyer right over there.
Shout out to Paul. Paul was on episode I don't even remember season.
$4 all ages right here in Green Day.
$4, damn. Prior to the dojo, or was it the dojo?
No, this is 1989.
Okay.
So,
Karate Man was like, bring Green Day in.
I'll fight him.
I'll fight him. I can take him.
Kung Fu, he had the Kung Fu grip and everything.
Pause.
Yeah.
That's tight. Yeah, Karate Chai. And the old school G.I. Joe had the little, you know what I mean?
This guy.
You don't want to get one of those in the throat, bro. The throat action.
My mom had a good...
backhand chop,
My mom used to have the double back slap. She'd take you here, and then
Oh, wow.
Damn.
She
didn't play.
That's
Mama
shutdown.
O, love you, mama.
Yeah, that was the shutdown. Shout out to moms for that one. She hit him with the double, triple.
Yep.
Both hands.
Yep. Catch him on the way in and on the way back.
Hey, just in case you forgot.
Yep.
That's that, dude. But so we're talking about 2020 before we took the break, like how you guys were doing that. And since it opened back up, a lot of people had a huge boom. But did you guys go back and apply some of the stuff that was going on during COVID, or was it just back to action? Like, let's just get back to the regular routine.
Well, we started making more of an online presence. When I retired, my goal was to create, some kind of online sales to supplement my income. And so we started selling on eBay, Mercari, Depop, and now lately Poshmark.
Okay.
Just to try to broaden our horizons. And if you're local, you're blessed because prices are cheaper in the shop. I always tell people, come to the shop because they always want to know what's your Depop, this and that. And I go, if I post on Instagram, then it's on the other page as well, and you can just add like $20 to that.
Yeah.
So just come get it here.
Yeah, might as well.
you know, and
But you also got to cover your service fee.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to list things online. I mean, you need good pictures, good measurements, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, there's the fees to overcome as well. But,
yeah,
you know, we found out like people in New York and LA where vintage stores are expensive.
Oh, yeah, they
see
are.
our stuff and like, dude, that's cheap, man. I'll take that. Goink.
Yeah.
I'll take that, and that.
Everything on their furniture, their jewelry, that's vintage is like super. Yeah.
Man. And people in Fresno have this mentality that vintage clothing is better in LA. But they don't realize that the vintage clothing stores in LA come to Bebe O's, buy it here, take it back to LA, charge 3 times, and you go down there and buy it. So
yeah, you do.
Cut the middleman out, come over here, get it, get your fresh fit.
Because Fresno's always been that hub too. Like San Francisco, LA, they always come here because they can get it for the low.
Well, Fresno, you know, I always said Fresno was 5 years behind in everything.
Yeah.
Music, fashion, decor. Mm-hmm. But with the internet now, we've closed that gap.
Oh yeah.
So now people are, you know, are hip to what's going on.
Now we're 3 months off.
Yeah. So, but you know, the key to keeping your prices low is to buy smart. You know.
Yeah.
And my friends and I've always said, you make money when you buy things, not when you sell things.
Yeah.
So in other words, buy smart. Mm-hmm. Buy it reasonable. Keep your margins in mind. If it's something like really hot, like. When we moved over here, we sold like 1920s through 1980s. That's kind of our thing. Yeah. And then kids are like, dude, you got any vintage 90s stuff? It's like, what the fuck is that? You know, I had no idea. I'm an 80s kid.
Like starter jackets and shit like that.
It was the polo, the Tommy Hilfiger stuff. And I was like, I don't know what that is. But I go, and they explained it to me. And I said, all right, if I go get it, you guys will buy it. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're all over it. So, you know, I started bringing in the Tommy Hilfiger stuff. And we were still, you know, by buying smart, I was able to keep the prices lower than online. Yeah. So the parents would come in with their high school kids and then, you know, Tommy Hilfiger pair of overalls, $75 in here. Mm-hmm. And the parents are like, $75 for used. And the kids would pull it up online and go like that to their parents. They were like, you got any more of these?
Yeah, you got to get
you know,
because I'm not paying $350 for these motherfuckers.
Yeah. So they, you know, they realize, and you know, with the internet now, you can check prices, you can comparison shop, you can see what's going on, and so it's a challenge to keep things reasonably priced, and that was our goal all along anyways. Yeah. We wanted, you know, because like I said, we started out by selling to kids that couldn't afford those brands.
Yeah, so you're not going to price gouge.
Yeah, but we also have to eat, and we also have to pay for this beautiful building. Very much. Every month, at the first of the month, you open up the front door, and it's like, okay, I'm already in debt, I owe this much. You know, I owe rent.
As soon as you flip on the lights, you're like PG&E, I can open the door.
You know, internet, you know, all this stuff. So you gotta make that money before. So it's a fine balance, and it's tough, man. I mean, we used to be able to buy T-shirts for $3 and sell them for 10. Yeah. And now, you know, we're paying 10 and trying to sell them for 25, and you get to a point where eventually people are gonna be like, nah, I ain't paying that, man.
Yeah, that or the cost of living goes up so high that they are paying LA prices here.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, you know, like I said, we're doing our best to keep things reasonably priced. You know, but we also, you know, add value by washing things. You know, you go to the thrift store sometimes, man, you go through the racks and your hands are black. Like,
like what the fuck, grimy?
And I haven't even tried anything on yet, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's that. You know, dry cleaning is not cheap.
No, it isn't.
You know what I mean? And then, I mean, look around our shop. Just think how many hangers are in here.
Very true.
$70 just for 100 hangers.
Yeah.
So do the math real quick.
And those are just the ones that are out.
These are just the plastic ones.
Yeah, these are just the ones that are out. Not even the ones that you probably have stored away. So when you get more shit.
Man.
Yeah.
Everything costs money. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge. It's tough. You know, you have to educate people. Yeah. Like people will come in and they're like, "Why are your prices so high? You're a thrift store." And like, nah, we're not a thrift store. No. You know, everything in here has been curated.
Yeah, we're not vets.
Yeah, we're not just. People are dumping stuff out in front of the shop.
And then we're like, all right, put it up. And sell it. Yeah.
Putting a hanger on it, putting it out here. This is all. It's all well thought out.
Shop. Just imagine you came one morning and there's like 19 bags of fucking clothes.
Yeah, and then it's like, you know, then you throw away 18 bags and you got one bag full of useful stuff. So, you know, there's thought put into this. You know, we have an employee. She does all these mannequins. I mean, every week she does a different theme or something, and people, when they're shopping for vintage, they come in like, I'm looking for something 70s. They have something in their mind, and they can't deviate from that. Yeah. And no matter what else you show them,
it's that. I want that.
It's that. And I'm like, well, then there's Amazon. Yeah. You know, if you want a costume, buy a costume. If you want legit vintage period clothing, come to BBOs and we'll hook you up. And I think a lot of our success has to do with personal service.
Yeah.
Like you come in here, it's not like, "What's up, man? Let me know if I can help you, fool."
Right.
You know.
Yeah. For us.
We let them look around and stuff, and then we kind of approach them like, "Hey, notice you're looking at this or that. What are you looking for? Is there something I can help you with?" And then they open up and say like, "I'm looking for this, this, and that." And then Tiffany or my wife, can put a fit together from head to toe.
Yeah.
And one of my, back in the day when we first kind of opened up and stuff, my motto used to be, you walk in here with $100, I want that $100 bill.
Yeah.
And not being greedy, but meaning you came in here and you got everything you needed.
Exactly.
And you don't have to go anywhere else.
Head to toe.
You go somewhere and it's like, okay, I'm going to go thrift shopping. Okay, I go to Goodwill and I found maybe a tie. Then I had to go to Salvation Army and I found a shirt. And then I had to go to AmVets and I found a suit.
Yeah.
And then I went over here to find the jewelry. No, you come in here, your budget's $100. I want that whole $100. But that means you're going home with the fresh fit and you're set. You're ready to go.
And you also have the confidence knowing that I probably have everything you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because of the way you curate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have the girls that can put together outfits and they'll all of a sudden, you look at a piece of clothing on a hanger versus looking at it on a mannequin.
Yeah, the whole fit.
And the whole fit, and people will come in like, I want the whole thing. It looks good together.
You guys have this, or can I get that right there? Like, yeah.
What's what I mean? And you take the thinking away from people. That's some of the clients, and then some of the clients are the ones that have an idea what they want, or they're just piecing stuff together, and that's their style.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for like period clothing, I'm going to a party, I'm going to a quinceañera, everything's themed nowadays.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Oh, I'm turning 40, I want a 70s party. Like, you weren't even in the 70s.
You weren't even alive.
Whatever,
I mean, you were made in the 70s.
Yeah,
but
you were just a sparkle in your mom's eye in the 70s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're able to take care of that whole thing. So it's kind of a two-sided business, There's the period thing where you want a whole outfit that's all the same era, or you just like to mismatch and put different things together and make it look cute.
Yeah. And you guys do have a very good selection too, because there are some 80s stuff like right there on that rack, and then right next to it there's like some 70s kind of vibe.
Yeah.
The like Joan Jett kind of frilly fucking black leather. But then also the next rack over is like 80s kind of windbreakers and then jerseys.
All jerseys,
you know what I mean?
Stuff. So
you guys you really do get the opportunity to see, if a kid comes in looking for something specific.
Right.
Or if an older gentleman, says, hey man, I'm trying to look for a nice little blazer, like I got you, bro. I got you.
And that was
patches or no patches.
That was all, right?
Yeah.
Pendleton or not? You want Joseph Brooks or I got you.
Yeah.
But part of the thought process behind the store was we wanted to have a cool men's section.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you gone somewhere with your significant other
had to shit
and
there
you're like,
wait.
oh, dude,
shopping
all women
sucks.
And you're sitting in the corner on your phone and stuff, and you're just like, hurry up. So then they come in, they think it's a woman's store, and then they go like, oh shit, they got some dope stuff for men. They're like, okay, honey, I'll be over here, and they start shopping themselves.
I mean, you might even want a pair of boots and come in and be like, yo, those are fresh right there. Like, I'm gonna see what these are about. Yeah.
So that was the whole thought process behind that. Have some cool stuff for the guys too, because we have a short attention span, man. So when the women are out shopping and you have to sit in the corner with your phone on it, it's after a while, it's like, okay, honey, we gotta go.
But also men know exactly what they want. So if you go in the store, I'm gonna get a hoodie. You know exactly what color you want. You might find one that's dope. And like, I didn't even think about this, but the style.
But the men nowadays, especially younger men, have more fashion sense now.
Yeah.
They spend more time in here than women do sometimes.
Sorting.
They're like, hey man, they'll go through the whole racks. They'll be in here for an hour. You know what I mean? And they're like, I'm not missing nothing. And I mean, it's sensory overload in here, man. Don't get me wrong.
It really is. He's got vintage toys up here, the wrestling dummies. He's got the old school Rugrats, Simpsons stuff. He's got Godzilla. He's got, like Ninja Turtle stuff, but then also vintage pictures and vintage, throwback stuff. They got the disco ball just jumping off for no reason. You know what I mean? Ball. So you do get that vibe of like, I don't even know where to start sometimes, because that's a good thing. People come in with an expectation and go, oh, you're just a regular vintage store. Like, no. Check yourself out. Walk around for a minute. You might find something that you didn't even think about.
The satisfaction of finding something that maybe they couldn't find anywhere else. Or they're just walking around and all of a sudden I'm like, Mija, what are you looking for? And they'll be like, well, I'm looking for this. I go, okay, hold on. Let me go.
Let me go in the back.
I go into the vault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel, you have a satisfaction of knowing that they came in looking for something and we had it. We found it. And if we didn't have it, like, send me a DM on Instagram. Send me a picture of what you're looking for. I'll get it for you. And Next week, I'm sending a message. Hey, I got this right here. Send them a picture, and they're like, dude, I can't believe you found it.
Again, the gift and the curse. You have the connections to do all that, but then you find out something's hot, and now you get the itch to be like, oh, I'm gonna go. I might cop a couple myself. I would get like 4 of these. Since people have been asking for them. And then they do get connected with something, and they're like, oh, you do have that. You're like, yeah, and then your wife's like, yeah, he bought like fucking 50 of them.
And that's that's another thing is you have to try to avoid getting caught up in the trends. Because things they switch overnight. Like really do. And so all of a sudden you're buying all this stuff to satisfy that trend, and then the next day everybody's like I said, like the skinny jeans.
They're off
skinny jeans. Like we can't get enough of them, and then the next day it's like we want bell bottom, low rise, full.
Where are the baggies again? Where's the baggies at? Where's the oversized? And I'm like, damn, not quick.
But we do, like I said, we do have clients that are into everything, and so that does help.
That's dope though, because when you told your wife, I'm coming to the shop with you, and she's like, fuck, and then you implicated the man section, and she was like, oh, that's actually kind of good. Like, that's a good idea.
And for the most part, I do most of the curating for this. Whether it's men's or women's. So I do have an eye for that. I'm not real good at putting stuff together as far as the whole fit for the ladies. But I know what's valuable, what's quality, and so she trusts me with that part. But without her and Tiffany, I mean, I couldn't put together the outfits that make it look good, where people walk in and go, I want this whole thing.
And like you said, because we walked around the shop and all the mannequins have different vibes, and if she comes in every month and is like, all right, let's change this up, I'm gonna put this on.
We change them out weekly.
Oh, weekly? Okay.
So what we do is Bebe will go around and take pictures of everything. She'll post them on Instagram, sizes, prices, and people. It's what drives people to the business. People, because it's like, that sucks. It's not my style. And then, oh shit, check this out.
You're also doing what like a Walmart or like a clothing store would do, and be like, hey, these are the new things we just got on deck. And also keeping, like you said, a fair price keeps a lot of people engaged, because they're like, somebody might compliment them and be like, yo, what you get? That's and they're like, dude, I went to Bebe O's and shit.
They hooked me up.
It was only I went in there with $70, like you said, $100, and I got the whole thing. Because they got jewelry right here. They got clutch bags. They got, jewelry aesthetics. Like, there's stuff that you can get all the way through, and it's not costume jewelry. It literally is like classic jewelry. The pearls over there. I was like, kept looking at the pearls. It's very rare. It's very rare that you get good pearls, like that soft pearl color, but also the color that get that like soft
and we try to carry the costume jewelry. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you're just looking for the look, we got that. If you want nicer, finer jewelry, we have that as well. And it's different markets, man, because you can buy something cheaper and not feel like you have to wear it every day. You buy something expensive, you got to wear it every day, make it worth your while.
or plan out throughout the year.
You go buy a $1,500 pair of Jankos, you wearing that every day.
Bro, they're going to come out at least once a week. I mean, if they're going to come out. Every Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to rock Jankos because the bitches need it. But that's also when people like buy stuff like Doc Martens. Right. You know what I mean? It's not only just your aesthetic, but it's just like they're so expensive. Like, I'm gonna rock these bitches every day. Tim's. You know what I mean?
And a lot of things they're investments, man.
They really are.
Like Timberland's dogs, they never go out of style.
Ever.
Levi's never go out of style. Leather jackets never go out of style. You know what I mean? Whereas you buy something else like, a Nike jacket with the check over here. And then, 6 months later, those are out because the check has to be right here.
Or the check has to be over here. Or has to be on the sleeve, right?
It's like, what? I said, you better check yourself, man. Come on.
Before you ring any records.
Right?
No, that's real though, because it does turn into that too. Like you said, there was people coming in asking for 90s stuff. That could have been a cool hot minute, like 6 months, and you're like, all right, I'm stocked. I got this.
Now
and wake up and it's done.
Yeah, and to be honest, man, I was really overpaying for stuff, just knowing it would flip quick.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys were passing on stuff because they were going like, I'm not going to spend $40 to sell something for $75.
Yeah.
So they're leaving it behind.
Yeah.
I was like, if I know I could sell this. If I can buy this for $40 and sell for $75 tomorrow, I'm buying it.
Yeah, because
as soon as I put it on Instagram, it's gone.
I'm making my flip.
And it's also driving people to the business like, oh, they got that?
Oh, they got it.
That? You know what I mean? And so there's certain profit margins you'd like to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can make the exception because it's just going to fly off the shelf.
Exactly.
But then you don't want to buy that $40 jacket that's going to sell for $75 the day after the trend stops. You don't want to get
no one's buying bombers anymore.
Yeah,
you got like 7 of them.
So it's I talk to young people all the time, always asking, what do you like, what are you into and stuff, and sometimes they look at me like, you ask a lot of questions, fool.
Why y'all up in my business and shit? Like,
but you know, how am I going to get the stuff that you want if I don't know what you want?
And they really are. They're the ones that dictate what's going to be hot next, because they can see something and be like, you know what, I'm going to start wearing, I'm going to start rocking this, and then everyone starts getting on it. Velcro shoes are the jump off this summer type thing. You know
I'm like, Crocs? Are you kidding me right now?
Really? And then
prison
everyone's like,
shoes? Come on now. Why people be wearing shoes from the joint?
You got the shower shoes on?
Yeah. Like slides.
But
that's where that stuff came from. People don't know. That's from prison, because you can't have shoelaces in prison.
Yeah, and you got to step on the back because you got to put them on real quick for the fight.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Something jumps off, you got to have the slides on. You can't be putting something between your toes.
Hold on.
Right? Hold on, let me lace up my boots.
Yeah, no, you got to step in. So in 2024, what could everybody be looking for from BBOs? What is going to be like the big thing you guys got going on? Is there any special events, or just come in and just check out the store? You know what I mean?
I just think, continue to do what we do, provide good customer service, provide good product, and just be a cool place to hang out, man. I mean,
it really is.
We have no prejudice against anybody. Everybody's equal when they walk in here.
Yeah.
The kids love us. They look up to us, as like I said, Uncle Theo,
you know what I mean? OG, the GOAT, you know what I mean?
And we treat them with respect, because a lot of times kids will go into the shop and the people are looking like, what are you stealing for?
What are you stealing?
You know what I mean? Like everybody has
that back.
When you're a kid, all kids aren't bad.
No,
there's bad kids, but they're not all bad. You know what I mean? And if you treat them with respect as an adult, they want to be adults. If you treat them like a kid, they ain't into it.
No.
You treat them as an adult, they'll respect you, and then when they act like a kid, I check them.
Oh, well, I mean,
I let
that's
them know.
Unk status. That's straight off Unk status. So
I'll
you
tell
should.
you, man.
And that's good. So just if you guys get the opportunity to stop by, the address is
1130 North Vashon Avenue.
Check them out. Check them out online. We'll have descriptions we'll have all the details in the description of the video. You guys can check out their IG. You guys can check out anything they got going on. Check out their Shopify page. Is that a Shopify or is it?
Shopify, no.
It's a
Instagram. We post on Instagram.
eBay. You said eBay.
Do eBay, Poshmark, Depop, or Kari, but come to the shop, even if it's
better.
And we ship right out of here too. So if you see something online on our Instagram page, I guarantee it's gonna be more expensive on the other side. So just hit us up directly. I'll send you an invoice, pay for it, I'll ship it out to you.
But also, we do have customer base outside of California that have been watching the podcast. So if you guys outside of California feel like you guys want to order something or you get something vintage, you got that vibe, it will have, like I said, all of the links so you can check it out. Go directly to their Poshmark, go to everything that they got going on, and you guys can order something from here. And it is cheaper if you guys can make it to Fresno.
But it's the same price if you're local or not, because if you buy it here, I don't have to pay the fees of Poshmark and eBay and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
So if I post up on Instagram for a certain price, you can buy that. I'll send you an invoice, and I charge shipping. I only charge you what it costs to ship.
Yeah.
I don't try to pad that shipping and handling.
Off the weight,
I weigh it, and it costs $6.99. I charge you $6.99. I'm not trying to make.
I mean, it's kind of like the fucking the trap house. You know what I mean? I weigh my shit. I make sure I know how much it costs.
I don't even know anything about that.
He don't know. He don't know, but I've seen a thing or two. And He said he got the triple beam on the side right there. He's like, 5 pounds of clothes. Hold on, let me get one more shirt. There we go. Yeah. No, but if you guys get an opportunity to come out to Fresno, check them out. It's a great opportunity to get into the vintage clothing. If you got a certain type of swag, a certain type of style, you definitely got everything for you here in this building. He even got beef jerky over there if you're just hungry.
Oh, jerky! Like shout out to Jerky Tom, man. That stuff is
Jerky Tom. Yeah, I was about to ask you if we can get a bag for it. And smack on something.
Depending on what kind of bag it is, but
hey, off camera. So you guys come out, check them out online. Anything you want to tell the people before we get up out here?
Well, like I always tell people, man, if you want it, I got it. If I ain't got it, I'll go get it.
Ooh.
So slide through, challenge me to come up with something that you're looking for and you think I won't have.
Ooh, I like that.
And I'll hit the vault.
I like that, because he might even hit you with you thought I didn't have boom.
Right? And it might take me a day to find it.
But he'll get it.
I'll get it.
He'll make it happen. And as a true OG should, and as a leader of the culture of vintage clothing, and coming in, not knowing, having an aspect of it, but knowing now what you know, being able to guide other people is amazing. That's what we want the platform to be, is everybody find out how to handle things and give back to your community. If you got an opportunity to give people something and you do things, guide them in what would make best moves for them. Not necessarily the guidelines, but what's best for them. Right. You know what I mean? With that being said, Marty, it's been a great fucking...
Science, my pleasure. Anthony, thank you, my brother.
Hey, you know what I mean? We love having you on. It was great. And the beers were fucking going down smooth. You know what I mean? High lifes all the way around. Let's cheers to that one more time. You guys have a great one. Thank you guys for being here. I want to appreciate everybody that's been a part of season 1 and 2. Season 3 is going off amazing. I love all you guys. All the other episodes numbers have been going up. And as I tell everybody every single week, come back. I love you guys. You know what it is. 3's up. And also next week we'll be at Bebe O's for our pop-up, The Hot Spot, which is a community closet. We give all aspects from the house. January 27th. January 27th. This will be out on Monday, so it'll be the following Saturday. So you guys will see this right now. We have a community closet where it's all housing supplies. So clothes, books, toys, some tools, maybe some food. Next month we're adding more things to it, but this month we'll be at Bebe O's right outside in the parking lot, so you guys come check us out. Thanks to him for having us here. It's such an honor to be able to be working with somebody that allows us to give back to the community, and he's been doing so much for the community, so we're trying to build that together. But you guys come out if you guys are available. Check it out. We'll be at Bebe O's outside from 11 to 3 in the afternoon. I mean, if it's a nice weather and you guys are really coming out and everybody got their stuff, we might stay a little bit longer, you know what I mean? But check it out. Follow that. Follow him. Follow Birdstash, follow myself, follow Rawsunn, follow yourself, follow your dreams, and make something happen. This man just jumped off from one career to another and made something jump off. It's a beautiful thing. We're in a great facility. You guys can have this happen. Do work, you know what I mean? That's all it is, really. So cheers to him again. And you guys enjoy yourselves. See you guys next week. Oh, we got to give you the beer eyes before we go. We got to give them the beer eyes. See you guys next week. The Real Famous Do Work Podcast, Scientifixxx, Marty O, at Bebe O's, Birdstashio. You know what it is.
Peace.
So, B-roll question. Do you have one piece that you were just like, oh my God, I can't believe that I found it?
Oh, yeah, like you dug for something?
Blew your mind because you had one piece.
There's a lot of them, of course, but I think the one that sticks out of my mind is we had, I don't know if you guys, how old you are that's watching this, probably
44.
don't know.
Well, our fan base is 18 to 35.
So Laurel and Hardy.
Okay. Yeah.
If you know who those are.
Yeah.
Silent film stars and into the, the 30s, 40s.
Who's on third? Who's on first? Yeah.
And so we had Stan Laurel's trench coat.
Really?
His personal joint. And he was a big man.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean? And so we had a collection of clothing that were personally owned by him.
Wow,
and,
that's tight.
We had some local media come out and cover the story and stuff.
Yeah, because that's a historic piece right there. Yeah,
so that's probably
up there, top five easily. Yeah,
that's really recognizable. You can probably see him in a movie wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other things that are pretty rare that we've had in here.
Yeah. And it probably feels good as fuck, like you said, if I don't got it, I'll find it type shit. To be able to really know that I could probably find it. I got a couple people that probably, real quick.
And then you'd be surprised at what walks through the door, man.
Yeah, for real.
It's like, like I said, we're blessed that we have a reputation of paying fairly. Having a brick and mortar versus just doing pop-ups is an advantage.
Yeah, it is.
And just treating people fairly, man, and being honest, ethical, and like I said, we sleep good at night knowing that we didn't get over on somebody, we didn't burn anybody, we were always fair in business.
Yeah,
we get back to the community and we do fundraising, and so we feel good about that.
He said, I drink my drink and I go home and I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is. That's what it's about. Is about being a business owner. Going, I didn't screw anybody over that didn't deserve to be screwed over.
Yeah, and some people can get away with it, man. They sleep good at night. They have no worry in the world.
Not at all.
I can't, man.
I mean, it's not just morals. You just got you got ethics, and then you got morals. And some people's ethics are confused with what they think morals are. And really, ethically, you got to stand on business. And morally, you just don't fuck people that you don't need to. Because if somebody's done something to you, payback is reserved for them specifically.
Yeah.
You got a little plate for you.
Well, I always say, if you do me dirty, I won't talk shit about you, but you're just dead to me.
That's how we handle it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we just had to go through a situation with that.
I don't need to drag your name through the mud.
Not at all. I'm never gonna smut you up. What I'm gonna do though is
you're dead.
You're on timeout forever.
Yeah.
You're grounded. Yeah, we grounded.
Yeah,
because of the fact that
yeah.
we have so much going on that it was like we were gonna include you into the thing, but because of your bad business practices, we now you're gonna have to watch from the sideline.
And most of those people will fail at business.
Yeah, they will.
It'll come around.
Yeah, because you do stuff for a long time. Like, you may get popularity or get the recognition, but once people realize what type of business you handle and how you give it out to everybody, they're like, all right, cool, we're good. We're off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Eventually you'll run out of people to burn.
Yeah. You burn all the bridges.
Yeah.
You know, now you're sitting on an island.
Right? Gilligan's Island.
That's what it is. You burn all the bridges, you're sitting on an island.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, hey, thank you so much, man. Marty.
Appreciate
it was so great. You know, hey guys, again, Be Real footage. Check this out. It'll probably be in like the intro, so it'll circulate. Do like a little thing, like, nah, just playing. Hey man, thank you guys again. You know, appreciate you guys. Check it out on the Patreon. You know, we got that going on this year. We kept saying it last season, but we never even had a Patreon like uploaded. But check it out. You know what it is. Three's up. The world famous Do Word podcast.
Peace.
Bebe O's, Marty O, Scientifixxx, Birdstash. Yeah.